Hey guys, it's Mariya. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're listening, welcome back to the first episode of the ear training podcast. I asked you guys how you felt about ear training in the community tab a while ago, and while it was a pretty close call, majority of you liked ear training, but whether you like it or not, it is an essential part of musical training. And unlike everything else, you actually need somebody beside you, whether that's an app or a website or sibling, parent, friend that's going to be testing you. Ear training is one of the only things that you actually can't physically play your instrument to practice. Of course, playing your instrument and getting used to different intervals and the sound of different chords is super helpful, but ultimately you do need to test your skills with somebody there. So the idea behind this podcast is essentially I'm going to sit down with you guys every once in a while and just do a little bit of ear training, touch on a few different aspects on ear training. And because this is the first episode, let me know in the comments if this is too easy or too hard. I got my setup here. I have the keyboard on my iPad, and I'm just going to be reading off my laptop here so I don't have to go over to the piano. And this is a great way to just practice your ear training if you're waiting for the bus, driving, or literally just doing anything, doing chores. So let's hop straight into this episode. But before we do that, let's just talk about the different aspects of ear training. So we're actually going to start out with just identifying pitches. And I don't mean perfect pitch. I don't have perfect pitch. A lot of my musician friends do not have perfect pitch. That is not a prerequisite to becoming a musician by any means. But what I mean is just identifying lower or higher pitches. Next, we have intervals, and these are all major, minor, perfect, augmented, diminished intervals. We also have triads, same thing, major, minor, augmented, diminished. And going back to the intervals can be in ascending or descending formats. Then we have the seventh chords, major, minor. That's two separate categories. Major, minor. There is major, minor, or the dominant seventh chord, minor, major, diminished, augmented, half diminished, and then for all of the ones I just mentioned, there's sharp five, flat five, and different inversions of those chords, as well as the triads. We also have different scales and modes. We have clapbacks, where I play something for you or clap it for you, and you clap it back. There's singbacks, I guess, or playbacks, as we usually use them. But since you're going to be using this kind of on the go, or you can use this however you want, you can sing back the melody or play it back. Next, we have different cadences as a segue into different chord progressions, and dictation, which is really just a branch off from playback. So let's hop right into the video, and again, let me know how you guys feel about this. I'm gonna try to start with the basics, so if I'm moving a little bit too slowly, let me know. So let's get straight into it. We're gonna warm up by naming some pitches. So I'm gonna give you a pitch. We're gonna start with C, and I'm gonna play you a pitch, and you tell me if it's higher or lower than this note that I just played. I'm gonna play it one more time. Take some time to think about it. And the answer is that was higher than the note I just played. Let's try one more time. I'm going to give you the same starting pitch. And here's the note. Higher or lower. One more time. Take some time to think about it. And the answer is it is lower. Let's do two more. Let's pick a different starting pitch. Let's do F as our starting pitch. And is this higher or lower than F? One more time. Take some time to think about it. And the answer is that was E. That was a little bit lower than F. And last but not least, let me give you the starting pitch one more time. The starting pitch is F. And let me know if this pitch is higher or lower than F. One more time. And the answer is higher than F. That was a D. All right, let's move on to some intervals. For those of you who may be new to intervals, we're not gonna cover all of them today. That would be a little too much, but we're gonna start with a minor second, a major second, and a perfect fifth. So a lot of people use songs to remember their intervals. I use that method as well for some intervals. It's not always useful. It's hard to find a song that's easy to remember for every single interval that you have. Sometimes you can just kind of hear by how it sounds what kind of interval it is. I know that doesn't sound very helpful, but I'll show you what I mean. And also the third way to kind of remember or identify intervals is if you can sing the notes of the scale, which we will also practice, actually, come to think of it. All right, so I'm going to start by playing you a minor second. It doesn't have a very pleasant sound. That is a minor second. The two closest notes, that's another minor second. That's another minor second. And those are all ascending, meaning I'm playing the bottom note first. And descending would sound just as bad, I guess. So this is descending, ascending. Okay, next we have a major second, which sounds like this. And especially with younger students, I usually say that this sounds like happy birthday. And I apologize for it sounds like I have my pedal on. This is really just an online keyboard, so I can't mute the sound after I'm done. It just sounds like I'm drowning all the notes in pedal. So the major second is basically happy birthday. This is a major second again, as opposed to a minor second. Let's try a few more major seconds. Right, so you can hear happy birthday to you. That's a little too low for me. That's also a major second. Happy birthday to you. Let's try to do a descending major second. So see, the problem with descending intervals and songs is that they don't exactly work in the same way. You're going to have to listen to the interval. Oops. One more time. That is our interval. So you're going to sing it, na, na. Then change the order of the notes. Na, na. Then test it to see if it works with the song. Na, 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 na. It does work. And so that is a major second. So I'm gonna start off by just giving you a minor second and a major second and kind of testing you on those two. One more time. Right, take some time to think about it. And that was a major second. One more time. Take some time to think about it. And that was a minor second. One more time. Take some time to think about it. And that was a minor second. So try to hum it in your head and see if that helps. Take some time to think about it. Ready? And that was a major second. So let's move on to triads now. So essentially we're just going to start with major and minor triads. A major triad sounds happy, and it sounds like this. Hopefully I'm going to be able to play this on the app. That's a major triad, and a minor triad would sound like that truck was singing in harmony with our C minor triad. All right, so and triads can be played in two different ways. They can be broken. This is a broken major triad. Or solid. Makes perfect sense. Solid is all together, broken is one note at a time. And again, broken for the minor triad and solid for the minor triad. So let me give you a few triads and you'll tell me if it's major or minor and if it's solid or broken. Ready? One more time. So that was a major triad and it was broken. Next. One more time. Take some time to think about it. And that was a minor triad and it was solid. Let's do a few more. And one more time. Take some time to think about it. And that was a minor triad, broken, and let's do another one. And one more time. So that was, do you have the answer? It was a minor triad and it was solid. Let's do another one. And one more time. So that was, take some time to think about it. That was a major triad, solid. And let's move on now to some seventh chords. So seventh chords that we're gonna cover today, let's just do two. We're gonna do the dominant seventh chord, which sounds like this. And another name for it is a major minor seventh, but mostly people just say dominant seventh or seven. So in this case, I started it from the G, so it would be called a G7. But it is built using a major triad and a minor seven. So that's what it sounds like. Let's play a few more. And it kind of wants to resolve to the one. So resolves to the one. Okay, and the second seventh chord that I wanted to cover today is a diminished seventh chord, and it sounds like this. Okay, it's built on all minor thirds. Minor third, minor third, minor third. And so it's really tricky for me to play solids on this app, but this is what it sounds like. Solid, please work. Yes. So that's what it sounds like, solid. I'm not going to try that again in case it doesn't work. And the solid for the dominant seventh, that's what it would sound like. So let's do a few. I'm just going to do broken. One more time. Take some time to think about it. And let's do another. Oh, I didn't tell you what that was. That was the dominant seventh, or just the 7 chord. Let's do another. sounds a little more tense. That's a hint for you. Take some time to think about it. And that was the diminished 7th chord. Let's do 2 more. One more time. And that was the diminished 7th chord. One last one. One more time, and I'll try to play it solid. It worked. So, take some time to think about it. And that was the dominant 7th, or just 7 chord. Next, let's move on to scales, and I don't want to do too many today. Let's just do 2. We're going to do majors and minors, natural minors. So the major scale sounds like this. Let's start with the C major scale. It just sounds happy. And if you're doing your scales, you're very familiar with how major scales sound. Here's another one. Please forgive my uneven scale playing. I am playing this on my iPad. I keep having to say that. I feel like I have to say that because it's so uneven. It hurts my ears. Okay, and then there's the minor, natural minor. Let's do another minor. Okay, I'm gonna play you a scale, ascending and descending, and you tell me what it is. One more time. Take some time to think about it. And that's a major scale. Let's do another. Okay, and one more time. Okay, take some time to think about it. And that was a minor scale. All right, one more. Let's do one more. Again, I apologize for the sounds blending together. One more time. Okay, and that was a major scale. Okay, let's move on now to clapbacks. So I'm gonna give you a rhythm in 4/4 time, which means 4 beats to a measure, and each beat is a quarter note long, 4 quarter notes in a bar. I'm gonna count you 1 empty bar, and we're gonna do a 2-bar long clapback. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, one more time. And I always tell my students, do little baby claps the second time, because the third time you're on, it's showtime, but the second time you really get to double check yourself and see if everything is going well. So make sure you do little baby claps. Of course, if you're driving, keep driving. Don't do any baby claps. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, and now your turn. Alright, and there is no way, I'm sorry, somebody is vacuuming outside if you can hear that, but there is no way I can tell you if that was right or wrong. I'm sure you did a fantastic job though. Let's move on quickly now to playbacks or singbacks if you're not near a piano. This is going to be quite a simple playback or singback. We're going to be in C major. That's a C major chord for you. So when you hear the C major chord, it's a good idea to hum. So you know this is C, E, G. So whatever note I start on, I promise I'm not going to trick you. This is going to be a 3-note playback, but make sure you hum those notes so you know which note I started on. So again, here's the triad. And let's go ahead and start. And when you sing it back, you can sing it in solfege. In this case, it's going to be pretty much the same as the note names. One more time. So sing it back. Great. And when you sing it, make sure you're either saying do, mi, re, or because I told you the key of the piece, again, you don't have to have perfect pitch for this. I don't have perfect pitch, but because you know that we're in C major and you know we started on a C, you can sing C, E, D. When you sing it back, C, E, D. Okay, let's do one more in F major this time. One more time. This is F major. So hum F, A, C. Okay. Okay, one more time. Okay, now sing it back. You should have gotten, if you're doing solfege, I'm sorry, I'm going to give you a little bit more time to sing it back. And so if you were done singing it, solfege would sound like do, sol, mi. Or, because we're in F major, you would do F, C, A. Okay, and let's move on now. I was going to say we're going to do some cadences, but it's really, really hard. Let me see. It does not sound good at all. But again, let me know in the comments if you want me to continue with the series, because if you do, I will get a keyboard, which is going to look a lot better than what we're doing here at this moment in time. So let's skip cadences for today, and we'll just do some dictation. So it's essentially the same as singing back or playing back, but you're going to be writing it. So again, if you're driving or busy, don't worry about this. Just try to sing it back. That's no big deal. So we're going to be in C major. Again, 4/4 time, and it's just going to be 3 notes starting on one of the 3 of the triad. So don't worry, I'm not going to start on F or D. Again, C, E, G. And don't worry about the note values or anything like that. Just try to write down the notes that I am playing. And again, this is middle C, C4, E, and G. Okay, one more time. Okay, and let's do one more. Let's do G major. So this is G3, B3, and D4. Okay, one more time. I'm just going to play you a little something. That's a little bit more complicated than the other one. One more time. Alright. So, actually, I'm going to put up on the screen what your dictation book should look like, but you should have written D, A, G. Alright, so that concludes it for the first episode of the Ear Training podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining me today so we can do some ear training together. I hope you guys enjoyed. And again, let me know in the comments if this was too hard, too easy. Again, I know we skipped cadences, but hopefully I'm gonna have a normal keyboard to do them on. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye.